All right, thank you for staying with Daybreak. We start the conversation on the youth and what their plan is going forward, their view on the state of politics in the country, their view on the state of governance and several other issues. We'd like to hear from you, mostly at Trevor Mbija at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Daybreak. Let me start by introducing my guests who are already here. Ivy Mushoki is the National Coordinator, VAR 3738. Alionya Roslyn is the Chairperson, Young Captains. Mary Letitia is the Secretary General, Young Captains as well. On the top deck is Keno Manuar, a lawyer, and Kevin Oyuko, who is a member of the Bunge la Wananchi. You probably know him as Kimbi Kimbi. Thank you all for making time this morning. We're still waiting for Arnold Maliba. As soon as he comes in, we'll drop him into the discussion. He's a party leader, PPA, which is Progress Plus Alliance, all right? And I'll start with you, Alionya, on this conversation. Does any side of the divide at this particular point articulate the issues of concern to you as a young person? Or are you only hearing political rhetoric without substance that affects you directly?
Thank you, Trevor, for inviting me to the Daybreak. And thank you to Kenyans for watching and listening to us very early in the morning. And so, Trevor, your question on which political divide speaks my concerns as a Kenyan youth and as a Gen Z. And I would say it is the ODM party. If you look at all the political parties, if you try to observe them, they are doing the politics of convenience. Someone is trying to look at, they don't have a space in government and they decide they want to form their own political party without an ideology of how they're going to solve the issues of the common Wananchi and the issues of me as a young Gen Z and a young woman. And so I resonate very well with ODM simply because my SG has been on this platform clearly outlining the kind of issues that the president needs to address. One of them being the police brutality. And on the other day, he was on the floor of the House addressing the issue of the rising prices of the hostels in our public universities. And with all honesty, I think it is ODM that is currently speaking for the common Wananchi and for the Gen Z without blinking. Your
SG himself says ODM is in a state of confusion because it's also, is it part of government, is it not? And I find that interesting because as a young person, when you went to the streets, you said you're partyless.
Yes, sir. So we were partyless in 2024 and we saw what it costed us because when they needed people on the table, we were nowhere to be seen because we were not well structured within a political party. And just to correct you, Trevor, my SG said that the members of the party are the ones feeling confused and not the party itself. The truth of the matter is...
What's the difference?
Wait, Trevor, yeah? The truth of the matter is that woman in Nyanza, in Siaya, who is unable to pay for SHA, is so confused because Baba is saying, let us give our experts time, yeah? That is someone who is genuinely allowed to be confused, Trevor, yeah? Because they cannot criticize Baba. He has been their leader for the longest. And equally, they still feel the pinch of this government, yeah? And so it is the members, including me. But I cannot leave ODM because I feel confused, yeah? Whatever we are experiencing in ODM is democracy. A big family of young children that have different professions. Trevor, it would be very boring for you if you had 7 children in your house and all of them are doctors. When you sit at the dining table every day talking about how the hospital was, it is not enjoyable, yeah? But ODM party is a party with 7 children, one who is an accountant, another one who is a chef, another one who is a doctor. And you know, they will never agree because they are speaking from different opinions, yeah? And so we are just in a moment where everyone is trying to air out how they feel about the broad-based partnership.
Okay, let me bring in Keno Manuar on this. Keno, and the 2 questions. One, Alionya says that young people realize that being without a party was detrimental to them. But also there's a concern in terms of, does any side right now articulate the issues of concern to you as a young advocate?
Thank you, Trevor. The issue of young people not having a party and being part of that national conversation, it's important to appreciate that the young people of Kenya are very civic conscious and they're very appreciative of the history of this country. The 7th of July, they were in the streets talking about Saba Saba. I want to bring a parallel about that history because remember, in the clamor for multi-party democracy in Kenya, the first party after DP of Kibaki, there was Ford. But now with Ford, there were internal dynamics and differences among the founders of Ford. And there was a second variant of Ford from Ford Kenya. Then they had Ford Asili. I'm saying that because even now with this civic consciousness and the Gen Z revolution, since the young people have decided to borrow from history and say the day of 7th of July of every year, we have to commemorate what happened in the 90s. So also with regard to Ford, the first Ford and the second Ford, we could say that now the young people have realized the first revolution was partyless, leaderless, and of course tribeless. But that could be the first variant. Now the second variant of that movement now could be one that is structured, one that has a party, one that has a leader, and perhaps an ideology. And I think with that, it would be very important for the young people to borrow from history in totality. And part of that is accepting that, yes, it is time for this revolutionary moment to morph into the second phase, which is now having a structure. That's the first bit.
Yeah.
Then secondly, asking if the young people are being represented, they're being heard.
If their issues are being addressed, before we get to what those issues actually are.
Yeah.
From the current political situation that you can hear, the statements being made by the political leaders, are they capturing the aspirations of the young people on either side?
Okay, that's an interesting question because I find it difficult to separate the aspirations of the young people from the aspirations of the country, Kenya. Because we can't draw the line, where is the young person coming and where is this country coming. But it is a bit encouraging that at the moment there is a very young permanent secretary of youth and sports, Mr. Fikirini Jacobs. And I've been following what he's doing lately, and he's been very vocal, and he's been a comrade, a student from the university straight to the ministry, and he's been streamlining a lot of programs, a lot of conversations that are geared toward the young people. And with that, I feel there is hope.
Okay.
Yes.
Ivy, is there hope, like what Manwar is saying from your perspective? Are you hearing your issues of importance being articulated by any side? And the idea here is not to draw parallels between the young people and the older generation. It's just the issues that the young people were agitating for. Are they being addressed by any of the political sides in the conversations you're hearing?
Okay, thank you so much, Trevor, for that. First of all, I always say that in the midst of chaos, there's always opportunity. So it's up to us as the young people to find out what is it that we can leverage on as an opportunity in this case. The truth is, I believe that the young people are now at a kind of loggerheads because they're thinking, okay, we need resources, we need institutions to hear us out, we need businesses to be built, we need an economical time shift that is able to actually make us understand where it is that we're heading to. And to answer your question, are the young people being heard? I believe that as of now, we are heading towards that direction. And that's why as the platform that we are calling the Viable Alternative Republic is trying to actually be that platform, to be that voice, to be that space where the young people are able to actually air out their grievances. What exactly are the solutions that you're looking for? The systems of government actually look like they're not doing anything. So what is it that we can do to help them? How can we make them more meritocracy? How can we make them into a system that can actually be able to vet and to actually allow these systems to work? As of today, I was seeing that we are actually going to a space that where education now is not going to be able to be free. So how can we be able to actually look for solutions to enable our government structures to help the financial capabilities of our country? I believe these are things that young people can actually sit down and actually come up with solutions. What are the loans? How can we find suitable loans that can help our students? How can we create this kind of systems that can work for our country? So I believe that there is a platform, there is a space, there's a call for opportunity, and the young people just need to sit down and see what is it that we're calling for, what is it that we need, what is it that we can do to help our country, because the truth is we cannot go into war we can't go into war. We have this country, this is where we live, this is where we've grown up, we've seen this country come to where it is today. So what I'm urging for is that the young people now need to say that from the revolutionary context, there needs to come a conclusion. So what is the conclusion? What do we want? And those are the questions we need to think really hard. What are the ideologies that we want to pass through? Yeah. That is why I believe that the Right Honourable Raila Amolo Odinga called for an intergenerational conclave dialogue. And I believe that is what we need as of now. We need to actually come together and say, what is it that the young people want? Because this is a space where the older generation and the younger generation need to come and combine and say, okay, we have a problem, but we don't know how to solve it. What is it that the young people need? What is it that the older generation needs to actually put in so that there can be synergy? There's no synergy. So before this synergy is met, there needs to be dialogue. So this is something that needs to be put into place.
And that's an interesting conversation you bring on what the young people want. We'll get into that in just a bit and also talk about the dialogue shortly. But let me hear what Letitia has to say about this. Are your aspirations and concerns being addressed by any side? The reason I'm going into this, we'll get into the next phase of this conversation, but I want to hear first. Do you hear your concerns being articulated? Whether it's about education, whether it's about health, jobs, are you hearing anything concrete from any side?
I can say for now, ODM is really doing a good job. Like the last weekend, we had a meeting with SG Sifuna when we were launching Young Captains, and we raised an issue about the accommodation fee. And just within some days, it was placed into Senate. So this is to tell you that ODM has really given us a platform whereby they can listen to the youths, they can listen to the Gen Zs. So I just want to urge all the Gen Zs to stop being partyless, to stop being leaderless, and join the ODM party. Their voices will be heard. Yeah.
Okay. I'm bringing Kimbi Kimbi on this. Kimbi Kimbi, are your issues being addressed by any side?
Okay. I want to speak the truth because I don't want these people to hide behind party. When someone speaks, he say ODM, say what? We are Kenyans and we are youth. Me, I'm from the street. You know, when we were talking about how to shape our future, we as youth, we have to know how we are going to shape it, because nowadays people have big names out here, Sir, General, Minister, what, and they are doing nothing in the office. See, conversation is they are bringing a good conversation, but let them not hide behind ODM. It is like these people are selling ODM. I am a member of ODM. That is it. But don't sell ODM. We want you to sell the needs of the youth. You know, Trevor, well, I'm talking about the needs. You know, even right now, members of ODM, UDA, and whatever are sleeping without even food. These people are launching Young Captain. What is the work of that Young Captain? You see? Secondly, Trevor, I'm sorry, I'm not attacking you people.
No, they're here, they'll answer. It's a fair question.
Thank you, Jesus.
What does the Young Captains do? Okay. Just the same way she spoke about VR.
Because you see...
It's okay, they'll answer that question.
You see, we have future. I may not have a child right now, but in future I'll have a child. When we will be going with this narrative that someone who is 40 or 30 cannot lead the nation or cannot own this one, where are we heading to? These people are just selling ODM. Just talk about the needs of Kenyans. There are many Kenyans watching you. All of them are not from ODM. All of them are not SAI. When we're speaking now, we want something can unite youths. You see? Trevor, even if you became a president, young president, will touch us, because things are going. Analog is going home. New things are coming. So don't address us like ODM people. Address us like Kenyans, because tell Kenyans what they want to hear. Don't tell Kenyans what you want your party to hear. Thank you very much.
And what do the Kenyans want to hear, Kimbi Kimbi?
Kenya want to hear we address something like anger, how to control our stomach. Because even after interview, you have to eat. You see? Economy is fingering us. We are suffering, Trevor.
Yeah.
We want, the main reason I came here, I'm from Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda. I came here to address the nation and the government to know that we people from the ground, we are suffering. Things are different. When you go there, hey, Kisungu is very good.
You can use Kiswahili, it's okay.
Thank you, Jesus.
It's only the Luo that you can't use, but you can use Kiswahili. Kiswahili is fine.
Unajua ukiwa huko chini mali tunatoka sisi, watu wanaumia sana, Trevor. Unapata mtu ametembea, hakuna kazi, hakuna ajira, wanaita ajira. Hakuna ajira. Watu wanakula tabu na hao watu wanakuja kusema ODM. ODM inakusaidia na nini? Wote ODM inabadilisha. Wakati unasimama tu ndio unaona ODM inasaidia. Ukimalizana na kusimama ufail, usifail, mali unaenda, kuna mtu anajua. Unaona? For example, nimeparticipate kwa maandamano zote. Hakuna yenye sijawahi enda. Na kwa kila maandamano tulianza na ile ya unga. Unakumbuka? Even sufuria. Kama baba alikuwa anatulead. Ikanini baba akaingia government. Unaona? After baba kuingia government, wewe mtu wa bunge la mwananchi, tulikuwa tuna hype baba, tunafuata baba, tunafanya kila kitu. I'm not talking bad. This is fact from my heart.
Yeah.
I love baba very much. That is it. But watu wachache walienda wakajikusanya mali, wakaanza kukula mzuri. Wakasahau na mahitaji ya Wakenya. Saa hii ukisema I'm a supporter of baba mahali, mtu anakuangalia kuanzia mguu mpaka kichwa, anakuuliza baba anakusaidia na nini? Wacha kutupigia kelele. Unaona? Sababu kuna greedy people and selfish people. So that's why I just asking, nataka tu tuongee kuhusu future generation na chenye inafaa tufanye kama vijana, youth, ili tuliweke hii Kenya mali inafaa. Thank you.
So, we have to take a quick break. When we come back, that's actually what we're going to talk about. What do the young people want and what are the solutions going forward? I'll play some of the sound bites from the Edwin Sifuna, the Secretary General from ODM, and also the President himself, saying that even though there's calls for him to exit office, then what? That's a conversation we're having in just a bit. What is the plan for the young people? That's a central conversation of this whole conversation. And Kimbi has brought it out very interestingly, and I'll hear what the young captains have to say in response. See you in just a bit.